Farrell. Farrell. Not many people spell it right the first time.
All right, that's it. I think we're good.
How'd I know?
Yeah.
I failed the test pretty bad in chemistry. It was like, yeah, this is not what I expected. But I think honestly, it wasn't even so much the test. It was really more like it was mostly a lot of lab stuff. And in my vision, when I think marine biology, I'm thinking like underwater, studying fish and animals and stuff, not in a lab the whole time.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the guy that brings stuff to the lab rather than in it. I had my scuba license and everything, my advanced certification. I was like, okay, that's part of my life I can check off. I can go diving whenever I want. I enjoy it. That whole thing is more turned into a hobby than a actual, life venture. Before I got into college, I got certified. Because I was interested in marine biology, and went diving with down to the Caribbean with my good friend Sean, who's getting married soon, and his cousin John, also a good friend of mine. And we got certified for night diving, wreck diving, in deep water. So we got all those certifications.
What's the hardest one?
The hardest one, I think, I don't know. They all have like,
But even just
because
like,
wreck diving has its dangers, because you're like, you got to run a line. You got to go into a ship, come out. If that line gets cut, then like that might be your only way out. So like I don't. And obviously when we got certified, we weren't like, all right, let's explore this 300-foot submarine. It's like they were like, you could exit if you needed to, but and then night diving, you can't see like more than like 15 feet at the most. However, how far your flashlight penetrates, so you got to navigate without being able to see.
and did you do most of it here? Like, because the Caribbean is different water than.
Yeah. So we got those. I got certified in a lake out in Western Mass, in the Berkshires, and then we went to we did a trip together to the Caribbean, where we got all those other certifications. Oh, it was like I was freshman year. It was like I was like halfway through, and I was like, marine. I kept it as a minor in marine biology because I still was very interested in like learning about the animals and stuff like that. So I did a lot of like marine vertebrate classes, stuff like that. But the labs, I hated the labs. And you get you get into like some things that are like like micro, like plankton, stuff like that. It's like I understand the importance of it all, but it's just like. It's like, no, like I want to go down. I want to see it. Like I want to, I want to touch it. I want to like, I want to experience it, not like dissect it, like. So I quickly realized I was like, I don't need a marine, biology major, or I don't need a major in this to do with the things that I want to do with it, which was pretty much just scuba diving. And so then I kind of immediately was like, well, what do I do next? Like, I don't like this, like the lab stuff. I don't like, it's not what I expected, which, you come to find out most people going in their freshman year change their major. I think it's like 60-something% change their major after freshman year. So I wasn't too like shocked about that. I was like, I actually knew that going into it. I remember like researching that because at first you're kind of like, oh my God, like what am I doing? And then you find out like, majority of people do that. Like, and I think that's kind of, it was kind of a relief in a sense. It's like, oh, a lot of people do that, but it's also like kind of like embarrassing to our education system that we can't even prep, in public schools. We can't get people to know what they're going to do going into college, and how many people waste money changing their changing their like major going into their, junior, senior year, and it's like all of a sudden they're like, wait, this isn't what I like, so at least I switched to global communications because I felt it had a lot of avenues, and to me, I was like, okay, like at least it's not just like one thing, and I could get stuck just like focused on one thing. At least communications was like broad enough where you could go PR, digital journalism, video, photography, and all those different avenues. To me, I was like, okay, like at least there's got to be something in there.